Hunter. This is the Family Showdown!
Howdy folks, welcome back to my top 100 games of all time. I'm Hunter, this is Rebecca, and let's get started. Today I'm presenting my 40 to 31. I'm taking a look at this list. We've got 7 new games. Woohoo! We have 3 games that plummeted from the upper echelon of my list.
What?
They make me a little sad.
The games do, or the drop?
Yes, the drop. So let's get started with my number 40.
Okay. We'll see what is in here.
Alien Frontiers!
Very good game.
It's new to the list.
I was going to say, I don't think you had this on the list last year.
I just barely missed the list. I got it at
Didn't you get that at BGG?
BGG Con last year. I guess I'll retell the story. It's in one of our videos. Basically,
Oh, yeah.
I bid on this at the charity auction. Not this version, but the older version of the game. And one of the publishers happened to be in the audience, and he said, "Hey, for buying that, we're gonna give you a brand new version of the new version of the game." So he sent me that with a bunch of rocket dice and all kinds of cool stuff. So that was pretty cool. But anyway, Alien Frontiers is a great dice placement game with a space theme. It has lots of cool things going for it. Basically, it's dice placement, but the main goal of the game is area control. You're trying to control areas of the planet, have a majority of your colonies there.
Yeah.
And when you do, you get a superpower, and all the superpowers are named after science fiction authors.
Very cool.
So it's just a really cool dice placement, space theme game with area control at its heart.
Yes.
So that's really, this is a really fun, it's kind of maybe a step up from Kingsburg, perhaps.
Perhaps? You mean yes?
in terms of complexity.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yes, it would be. A little bit.
Just a really cool dice placement game that plays 2 to 4 players, and
It's another one that's actually pretty fun, 2 players, and it's really fun 4 players.
Yeah.
I think it's probably best at 4 players.
yeah,
but
for lower numbers, you just block some spaces off. You don't have access to all the spaces. So it's just a really cool dice rolling, space theming, area controlling
Excellent choice.
kind of game.
Excellent choice.
That was my number
Really?
40. Alien Frontiers. The next 2 to my list, this breaks my heart.
Why?
I may cry a little inside.
What were they originally, like space-wise?
The next game was my number 2 last year.
What? Wow!
Dropped
Mighty
from number 2
I know what
to
this is.
39.
Wow!
And that
Is
is
it because we didn't get it to the table?
put them in the wrong order here. I can't let you see that. Can you see that? Make sure I got the right one.
History. Oh, what? Oh, well, that
Make
tells
sure I
me.
got the right
That
one.
just told me volumes, and I'm.
There you go. My number
Yeah.
39 is Dice Masters. I love me some Dice Masters, and for whatever reason, I don't love it so much anymore.
I know why. It's too light.
It's too light. It's too quick. It's too
light.
For the amount of game you get out of it, it takes a long time to set it up.
I don't think it's that bad.
You have to figure out what cards you're going to play, draft the cards, find all the dice, blah 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 blah.
I don't know, but when we tend to get this game out, we played
Kind of
multiple
scared.
games.
I'm kind of scared to open this. I'm afraid the dice are going to be scattered all over the place.
No. We have that cool little tray thingy.
Anyway, so there's
It's got.
this holds almost our entire Dice Masters collection. There's 2 trays.
That's what scares me is lifting that. See,
Yes.
that's a lot of dice, people.
Anyway, so Dice Masters is kind of a dice drafting game. You basically start with very basic dice and you draft more and more powerful dice, and you put them in a bag and you draw a certain number per turn, and basically you're trying to do a certain number of damage to the other player and win. It's kind of like got a Magic the Gathering kind of feel to it, but it's dice. Basically, you're drafting dice, and so it's Dominion meets Magic the Gathering, kind of, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, this was my number 2, and like she said, it just doesn't hit the table anymore, and it doesn't really...
But it's
do
fun.
It for me. It's a blast. It's a really, really good game, and I like the D&D. Dice Master is the best.
We like the way it plays, yeah.
It has leveling up, and it has all the gelatinous cube and the owlbear and all those creatures you know from D&D.
I think part of it, too, when it does hit the table, we play multiple games of it because, it takes a while to draft and everything, so you're like, oh, well, why would we have it out? Let's play some more. And
yeah, it's just a really...
But once you get it out, it's just good.
Yeah, like I said, it's like she said, it's light, and I think it's a little too much setup for a lighter game. I mean, but if you're going to play... a tournament, or you're going to play a bunch of games of it, it's worthwhile to set it up and throw down. But it's crazy light, but still an amazing game because it's hanging on. I mean, it's 39. It's still a really, really good game. It just plummeted from number 2 last year.
Man.
D&D Dice Masters. So along those same lines is my number 38. It was my number 3 last year. Has a lot in common with the one right before it.
Well.
And that would be...
Is that your Quarriors?
Quarriors!
Yeah. Oh, man!
So, this was my number 3 last year. So, Dice Masters was 2. This was 3. They kind of swapped places because I kind of like Quarriors just a hair more than Dice Masters. And I've explained it in many of our top 10s. It just plays more people. You're drafting the same cards, so it's less of building out a cool team. Basically, if I build a better team than she does in Dice Masters, I have a much better chance to win. Whereas in Quarriors, you're all drafting from the same pool of cards and dice. So it's strategy. It's equal. And Quarriors plays 4 players. I mean, Dice Masters supposedly plays 4 players in teams, but teams doesn't count. So I prefer Quarriors over Dice Masters.
That one's fun. For those reasons. Was fun.
And this is for the same, a lot of the same reasons that Dice Masters dropped. This one's dropped. Just a light game. Takes a little bit of setup, and I think it plays better with 3 or 4 players than it does with 2. And we mostly play 2 players.
Yeah.
And we have the same little box and all the cool stuff for this one.
Yeah, it's not as full.
Yeah, so
it's got 2 trays, but the top's mostly empty.
So yeah, there it is. I mean, I act like that. That's a death in the family for these 2 to drop so far, but they still hung on. I mean, 39 and
really
38 is really still high on my list. I really do love these games. I just don't obsess over them like I used to, because I was for a while I was like buying all the sets and trying to get all the for Dice Masters, trying to collect all the
every single type,
all the different monsters and
the rares.
And for Quarriors, it's a Quarterfacts because it's the box, but Quarriors, I was cranking out all the expansions for a while. We were buying all the different expansions, so there's 2 or 3 expansions in this box. So even though they've fallen and they're not 2 and 3 anymore, they're still really high on my list because I still really love them. So
still making Mike Elliott cry.
Poor Mike Elliott. So there it is. My number 38 was my 3 last year, Quarriors. So my number 37 is a new game to the list. It has a sci-fi thing. This is it's the last sci-fi for this section.
Oh, I was going to say last sci-fi.
For this section.
Okay, I'll let you
And that is the Mission Red Planet.
Oh!
Love me some Mission Red Planet. It's funny that I don't really think about it, but area control is in a lot of my games I like.
Yes, it is.
And I don't really even think about it.
Because usually it's not the only thing going on in those games.
So Mission Red Planet is kind of like Citadels meets Area Control.
Yes.
So you basically have a set of roles, and each turn you pick one of those roles to play, and every role has a different ability, and they fire off in different orders. So they go in order, basically of all the players, they go in order through all the roles. And there's a roll that gives you all your cards back, but it's not that powerful, so you kind of want to hold off doing that one for a while. And the main goal is to send your little astronauts to Mars and to get area control on those places. And when you have area control, you get resources, which are your victory points. And then at the end of the game, if you have control of an area, you get
all the points.
As there's I think there's 3 scoring sections, and each time you get more and more stuff. So it's more valuable to have a control of an area at the end than necessarily at the front. And there's also cards that you put around the edge of the board that change how the end scoring happens on those. And,
oh my god!
And there's like secret cards that only some people know about, so it can change. It can say the second place person wins, or the last place person wins, or
every time
this area doesn't score at all, and all kinds of weirdness happens. So it's just a fun little simultaneous selection of roles, area control, with hidden stuff.
Yes.
Hidden objectives, hidden things.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's just I just love it. It's great. Basically, you're loading up these spaceships with astronauts to send them off to Mars, and you can sabotage the ship.
Oh my gosh!
You can move guys around. You can do all kinds of
send the ship
fun
somewhere
stuff.
where it originally was going to go to.
Yeah, you can send it to a new location.
That's so much fun.
It's just a really fun game. It plays up 2 to 6 players. The 2-player has kind of a tricked up. You play 2 colors each.
That wasn't too bad, actually.
No, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my number
43.
43? It's not 43. We're not even in the 40s.
I love how okay, you did notice that. That's good.
37.
Yeah.
My number 37, Mission Red Planet.
So, I may just print some cue cards.
You said that before.
I know.
Where are my cue cards?
Oh my gosh. You said you were going to have a cow if I made those.
All right.
I may make them anyway.
So we're now number 36, another new one to the list.
Yes.
Not a brand new, but a new one to the list for this time around.
Okay.
And that is...
What?
Salem!
Oh my gosh, yes!
Salem is fun in a box. Well, fun in a book, I guess.
Fun in a book,
Fun in a book, not fun in a box. It's just a great little light hidden role game that... you just kind of sit around the table and try to figure out how the witches are. We had just done a blender recently on this one, so if you want to check that out, the villains one. And it's just a great little hidden role game it's pretty easy to teach, kind of light, kind of easy going. It's not like a lot of the other hidden role games where you're kind of stressed out and looking around.
Yeah.
It's kind of an easy going kind of.
But this one is really fun because I think you could totally make the mood with this one. You could dim the lights and play creepy music, or you could do a lot of fun things with this one. And but it's not like Werewolf or something where you have to keep you sort of have to keep a poker face, but you could just sit and focus on your cards. Right. You don't have to communicate directly with people about things that reveal your nature because it's all in the cards. So it's fun because it's very different, and it's got some historically accurate little historical background, like characters or people that were there in Salem during the trials, and and participated in that, and I don't know, it's just. There's a lot of stuff going on in that little book.
Yeah, it's the designers of this basically looked at all the current hidden role games and kind of said, okay, what do I like and what do I don't like about those games? And this kind of distilled it down into a really cool social deduction game.
Yeah, it's a blast.
So there you go. My number
36.
It is 36. My number 36, Salem.
That's one of those that I think has gone under the radar.
Yep.
A lot of people don't talk about it, and it's so good.
I think because it was a Kickstarter and it was kind of only from the designer for a while, and now I think you can get it on Amazon and some other places now. So it's kind of spreading out a little bit.
Yeah.
Anyway, my number 36, Salem. So my number 35 is a new one to the list. So I got one that's not new left in this time around, and then the rest are new.
Okay.
So my number 34 is...
That's 35.
You're right. My number 35 is Stockpile.
Wow, this low?
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of shocked.
You know why it's this low? Because I haven't been challenged yet.
Oh, it's on.
Oh.
What? Every time I'm getting closer and closer to your score.
So my number 35, that tells you how amazing the rest of my list is. My number 35 is Stockpile. This is a great, lightweight stock market game.
That you're about to lose.
I'm calling it now. I will never lose at this game.
What? Oh.
The gauntlet is thrown.
Bring it.
Anyway, so Stockpile, it's like I said, it's a great little introductory stock market game where it's kind of a partial information game where you know a little bit of the information and each other person knows a little bit more, and then there's some hidden information that no one knows on what the stocks are going to do. Some are going to go up, some are going to go down. Also, when you're picking out your stocks to buy, there's some hidden stocks that don't, like, again, some people know and some people don't know. So it's kind of like the stock market. You kind of know a little bit about what's going to happen, but you don't know everything, right?
Yeah.
At least you're not supposed to know everything.
Cheater.
So this one is just a fun game. I tried this out at BGG-Con last year. Oh, yeah, wow. I was just walking along and someone said, hey, you want to play this game? I'm like, oh, okay. And I sat down and I loved it. And I destroyed them. They didn't invite me to any more games after that. Oh. Anyway, this was so much fun. It's just a lot of fun, and it's so easy to learn, easy to understand. It's not a lot of your stock market games are really confusing and hard to grasp, but this one's easy to do. And we just got the expansion. What's it called? Continuing Corruption or something like that.
Oh, I forgot we even got that.
Yeah, we haven't even played it yet, so I'm anxious to try out the expansion, and it may move it up the list because it randomizes what's going to happen a little bit every turn. And this one, every turn a certain number are going to go up, a certain number are going to go down, and how much they're going to go down. So you kind of judge. You can guess. But when this way I think it's Continuing Corruption is the name of it. You roll dice to see what happens, and those are weighted where still some are going to go up, some are going to go down, but some could go way down. A lot could go way down. A lot could go way up. It's more swingy, and you can't predict as well what's going to happen. So it kind of adds a little more randomness. It makes it more stock markety, right? There's more swings of things that's going to happen.
And this is another one of those games that's awesome 2-player and it's awesome multiplayer. Which I still think is very surprising to me because I don't usually like games like that at all, and they're usually boring, and I have no interest in them. But that one, this out of left field, is really fun.
It has a lot going for it, and you can you can trick it up. You can play the base game. You can
play with the rolls.
You can play rolls that give you special powers. You can flip over the board, which makes the stocks act differently. On the base game, all the stocks act the same. They have the same number scheme. Basically, they go up to a certain amount, and then they the other ones some move faster, some move slower on the list. So it's just a really great game. You can kind of crank up the complexity of it. Very cool. Not much, but you can crank it up a little bit.
Twist it around, make it different. Yeah.
There you go. My number
4.
Oh my gosh.
35. Jeez.
Is it 35?
I don't know.
How do you do that? My 35.
I have to take roll with students like shouting numbers and things at the same time.
I build spreadsheets for a living.
I don't know.
That's not all I do, but I do build spreadsheets.
I build spreadsheets for a living.
All right, my number 34 is the one hanger-oner that's left from the top part of the list.
Okay.
It was my number 11. I guess it didn't drop that much, but it was my number 11 last year.
30s.
34 this time, and that is Elysium.
Oh, wow.
So Elysium is a cool little card drafting game with a Greek mythology theme on top of it. So basically, you're drafting cards, and when you draft the cards initially, they give you superpowers or special abilities or one-shot things. But eventually, you got to check those cards and move them down to your Elysium to score in-game points, and you're trying to get sets and runs and straights and things like that. So you got to kind of choose when you're going to switch gears and give up that superpower of that card to move it down so it'll score, and when it moves down, you lose the power of that card. So it's kind of got a lot going on for it. It's just a really, and what's cool about it is when you play, I think you take 3 of the gods, and there's I think 7.
Oh yeah, you can pick which sets of the gods you are
and the different
force and the families.
And the different different cards, interact differently. Like some are attacky, some are give you lots of points, some give you lots of money.
Some give you more points only in Elysium or something like that.
And the game comes with different suggests certain combos that So it's 5 of 8. You use 5 out of the 8 each turn.
Yeah, so you can completely mix it up.
Yeah, so you can change up how you play. You can take the attacky cards out if you don't like those, or put them in if you like them.
Those are fun.
So it's just a really, and it's got a really cool
it's beautiful.
mechanism with the columns. Good. Basically, when you go to draft a card, you have to get rid of one of your columns, and that there's 4 different colors of columns, and that limits what you can draft for your next card. So you got to kind of plan out your entire draft and hope that the other players don't mess up what you're trying to do.
And watch we were drafting, and
So it's just a really cool, great card drafting game with a really interesting theme on top of it.
And the artwork's cool in that too. It's an all around pretty game.
I'm afraid to open this because I think it's going to be busted up, but I really like the insert.
Oh yeah, the insert's really pretty.
It's going to be busted up. How busted up is it? It's not too bad.
Oh, it's not as bad as I thought it would be.
Because we store
it upright.
Upright.
Yeah, I'll just dump them in here for now.
But anyway, it comes with a great little...
It looks like a building.
Yeah, so trying to get it...
Look at this, the columns. Isn't that cute? How clever. And everything fits nicely. Everything's in there. Obviously, it can get jostled around sitting upright. But
I probably should just give it up and bag it. But it's so
the insert's
so cool.
It's beautiful.
Anyway, there it is. That is
Elysium,
a great card drafting game with a cool theme that she particularly likes.
Apparently, you particularly like.
I do like it. It's a great. That's why it's on my list.
There you go.
And that was my number
34.
Look at that. Sure. My number 33 is a new game to list, and it's the only cheat in this grouping of 10.
Cheater.
We've only played this once, but I love it, and it has potential to go higher, and that is a Bruges.
It will go higher.
This is our latest Steffenfeld game. I want to say it's the most recent one we bought.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
All right, so this is our most recent Steffenfeld. That's the only reason we've only played it once.
Yeah, because otherwise
It's fairly new. So this is a great
this one's neat
card game where the cards have, I think, 6 different uses. I love cards with multiple uses, and this takes it to, turns it up to 11 because you have 6 different things you can do with each card. And it's got a lot of it's got dice. So they roll the dice, and that drives what you can do with the cards, and you're trying to get majority on the little track, and there's all kinds of, you're trying to build canals, and it's like Steffenfeld. You got 300,000 different things going on at the same time you're trying to work on, and you can't do them all, so you have to pick and choose what you're going to do and what you're going to focus on.
Yep.
And it's just a really fun card game with cards with multiple uses, with tons of uses.
Oh yeah, that's definitely going to go up your list. That was just
I really
blast.
enjoyed it, but I kind of put things a little further down the list if I've only played them once than probably where they deserve to be, because...
Well, you need to play them and get more familiar with them, because, one play, especially something that deep that's got so much going on with it, you can't make a complete judgment call on it.
So this is a great Steffenfeld game.
Yeah.
A little, maybe kind of a mid-weight one. It's not like super heavy, but it's not super light either. So there you go.
Very fun.
My number...
33.
Man. I am not good at this. Yeah, it is 33. My number 33, Bruges by Steffenfeld. My number 32.
Hey, look at you.
My number 32 is a new game to the list. And that is My Village.
Oh, that's so much fun.
Yeah, I love My Village. This is a fun one. We did a review of this on Dice Tower.
Yes, we did.
Yeah. So, this one is about
a village. What are you trying to...
It's basically it's a card drafting game with dice. Basically, you roll dice, you use the dice to trigger actions and trigger things that you do, and you can draft cards with those dice. And you also use those same dice to trigger the cards once you own them to get superpowers and special abilities and make stuff and sell things and get victory points. And it's just a really cool dice chucker card drafting game
with a Grim Reaper.
Yeah, your little villagers age and die, and you have to replace them with new villagers. You can choose, like, if there's one area, the village has many different areas where you can do things. You can travel, you can do crafting, you can go sell to the merchant, you can build up your church, you can do the council area, or you can do farming. And except for the farming, you have to have a villager in those areas to be able to use those areas. So if you're not focusing on an area, or you're done with an area, you can let that villager die off and not replace him. But you really want to keep cranking out new villagers as you go along.
Yeah.
So it's just a really cool dice rolling, card drafting. I guess it's kind of like a tableau building. Your village becomes like a tableau of things that you can do.
Yeah.
And what's cool about it is that you can purchase your cards in such a way that you can get combos where you pick a certain number and it triggers 3 or 4 of your cards at the same time. And
if you plan that out, that works really well.
So yeah, it's just a great little dice checker where you draft cards. My village, my number 32. Look at that!
Wow,
I got that one.
Wow.
So the last one for the list is my number 31,
which is
it's
a mystery.
The Battle of 5 Armies.
What just happened? This is in the 30s?
Unlike someone, I view this as a different game than its father. Would it be his father? Older
Luke.
brother? I'm your father. Anyway, Battle of 5 Armies. This recreates the battle at the end of The Hobbit, where one person is the good guys and one person is the bad guys, and you fight it out, and each person has basically different goals and different ways to win. Just a great miniature game with cards and dice, and it's just a blasty blast. But this one doesn't seem to hit the table as much.
No, it doesn't.
As some other game that may be higher up on my list.
Gee, I wonder what that could
But
be.
but it's got really cool miniatures. Really cool miniatures and bad guys and big old Dorn and Gandalf and all these guys and Thorin and the whole gang from The Hobbit.
I was say it's The Hobbit in the box.
Yeah, you got the eagles and the bats and
I
the
forgot
orcs.
about the eagles. Yeah.
So it's just a really cool dudes on the map. But it also has cards with multiple uses, which I like, because you can use it for the superpower, you can use it in combat. It also has dice, which decide what actions you're going to take for the turn. You can allocate them, and it's just a really cool, I guess, battle simulation. It's almost a war game, but it's got so much more on top of it than just the war part. It has other things going on.
Hobbit. It's The Hobbit.
It's the end of
the end of The Hobbit. But yeah, oh gosh. Yeah, there's so many good things in that. I forgot about the Eagles being in there. Why haven't we played this more again?
I don't know. I don't know why this one doesn't hit the table as much as some other game. But yeah, it's a great 2-player, just one guy's the good guys, one guy's the bad guys, and you fight it out and decide who wins The Hobbit.
Who wins The Hobbit?
So that is my number 31, the last one for this time, an amazing war simulation of the Battle of 5 Armies of The Hobbitness. Well, there you go, folks. That was was that 40 to 31?
It was indeed.
We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.